The sun sets over downtown Los Angeles, casting long shadows across the skyline. Three massive towers rise in the distance, unfinished, empty, and haunting. From afar, they almost look like modern art installations, hulking structures of concrete and steel, their exteriors covered in vibrant, chaotic graffiti. But up close, the towers tell a far darker story. They are monuments to vanished money, broken promises, and human suffering. These are the Oceanwide Plaza Towers, once hailed as the crown jewel of downtown Los Angeles. Now they are known as the Graffiti Towers, a viral spectacle that tells a story of greed, corruption, and a $1 billion disaster. This is a story of ambition that spiraled into catastrophe, leaving not just concrete skeletons, but thousands of lives disrupted in its wake. The tower's eerie presence looms over the city, casting long shadows not just in sunlight, but in memory. Once meant to symbolize the future of urban luxury, they now serve as cautionary beacons, a reminder of what can happen when unchecked ambition collides with poor oversight and opaque global finance. Each windowless floor and exposed beam is a testimony to plans gone awry, investments gone missing, and dreams dashed. Los Angeles, a city celebrated for its growth and innovation, now faces the visual proof of a billion-dollar failure. Graffiti as a warning. By 2023, the towers had become infamous. Graffiti artists, undeterred by danger, scaled unsafe floors and plastered their colors across the unfinished concrete. In doing so, they transformed abandoned structures into a global phenomenon. Photographs and videos went viral, spreading across social media and making the towers a must-see sight. Yet beyond the spectacle, the graffiti served as a warning. It reflected the financial rot, regulatory failure, and human cost hidden behind these concrete walls. The towers were never meant to be empty. Luxury condos, a five-star hotel, and high-end retail were promised to the public. Instead, the splashes of paint across concrete mirrored billions of dollars gone, plans unfulfilled, and livelihoods destroyed. Each mural silently narrated stories of broken promises, of jobs that disappeared along with the developer, and of families left without recourse. The artwork, while unauthorized, became a haunting mirror of financial collapse, a public expose in vivid colors. Graffiti, in this context, is more than rebellion or creativity. It has evolved into a visual indictment. The streets and skyline may have been littered with empty promises, but the murals shout a truth that corporate press releases cannot convey. In a city driven by images and appearances, the graffiti towers tell a story no press conference could ever hope to convey. A story of ambition unchecked and human lives caught in the crossfire. How $1 billion vanished. The story of Oceanwide Plaza is not just one of construction delays or aesthetic failures. It is a cautionary tale of global finance, greed, and mismanagement, highlighting how billions of dollars can vanish without a trace. The grand vision. In 2015, Oceanwide Holdings, a Beijing-based real estate developer, announced plans to transform downtown Los Angeles into a world-class hub. Their vision was ambitious. A luxury Park Hyatt hotel, 504 high-end condos, a retail podium with elite shops, and a pedestrian plaza designed to rejuvenate the neighborhood. The project carried a price tag of $1 billion, representing foreign confidence in the U.S. real estate market. City officials hailed it as a symbol of international investment and urban revitalization. But while the press releases painted a picture of opulence and success, cracks were visible from the very beginning: financial mismanagement and capital flight. By 2018, construction had slowed dramatically. Official statements cited typical obstacles: labor shortages, design changes, and permitting delays. Yet, insiders whispered of something far more alarming. Investigations later revealed that billions of dollars had been transferred out of China through a maze of shell companies and offshore accounts. Allegations of money laundering soon surfaced, casting doubt on the project's financing. Eventually, the developer, a wealthy Chinese businessman, reportedly fled the United States as federal investigators closed in. The towers were left unfinished, and approximately $1 billion had disappeared, leaving workers, investors, and the city in financial peril.
Human cost of the greed. The collapse of the project did not only affect faceless corporations. Construction workers went months without pay, with many losing homes and financial stability. Local businesses, counting on increased foot traffic from luxury retail tenants, faced empty streets and reduced revenue. Overseas investors who purchased condos as long-term investments suddenly found their funds trapped in legal limbo. For a city striving to revitalize its downtown, the towers became more than unfinished buildings. They became monuments to broken trust and shattered dreams. Red flags and regulatory failure. Before the towers became canvases for graffiti, warning signs were everywhere. Delayed permits and safety violations. Repeated inspections revealed serious safety violations. Steel beams were left exposed, elevators remained unfinished, and scaffolding posed risks to workers. Regulators were slow to act, allowing construction to continue even as financial and safety issues mounted. Opaque ownership structures. Oceanwide Holdings channeled money through a complex web of shell companies. Each layer obscured the flow of capital, making accountability nearly impossible. Investigators later said that this intricate structure allowed billions to vanish without immediate detection, highlighting the risks of opaque international finance. Market overreach. The developer's ambitions far outstripped its operational capacity. Attempting a project of this magnitude in a competitive and volatile market, without clear financial transparency, was a disaster waiting to happen. The combination of overreach, secrecy, and mismanagement created conditions for catastrophic failure. The ghost towers today. Today, the towers stand as a monument to financial mismanagement. Some portions of the structures remain structurally sound, yet the buildings are largely empty, decaying, and overrun with graffiti. Thrill seekers, photographers, and social media users flock to the towers, drawn by the haunting spectacle. Security guards patrol the perimeter, but the towers remain mostly unoccupied, serving as visual reminders of lost opportunity. City planners and taxpayers face staggering costs, with estimates suggesting hundreds of millions to either finish or safely demolish the towers. Legal entanglements related to international finance and ownership make any resolution complicated. The towers remain, imposing and unfinished, a constant reminder of a failure that was as financial as it was human. The human stories behind the concrete. While the towers capture headlines, the true cost is deeply personal. Jorge Martinez, a construction foreman, invested over a decade of work only to lose his livelihood when the developer disappeared. Li Wei, a buyer from Shanghai, wired millions for a luxury condo now trapped in legal limbo. Local businesses expected a surge in customers but instead faced closures and layoffs. These stories illustrate that the tower's failure is not abstract. It has tangible consequences for real people. The human cost extends beyond money. Lives were disrupted, families uprooted, and futures altered. The tower's empty floors may be silent, but they echo with stories of despair, sacrifice, and loss. Each graffiti mural, while colorful, represents not just art, but the pain and frustration of those left behind. The legacy. Oceanwide Plaza is more than an unfinished construction site. It is a warning on multiple fronts. Unchecked ambition and greed developers can promise luxury and prestige, but without strong oversight, money can disappear as quickly as it arrives. Regulatory oversight is critical. Failures to intervene early compounded the damage. Delays, ignored warnings, and opaque corporate structures made accountability nearly impossible. Global capital, local consequences. International investors can move billions across borders. Without transparency, local communities bear the cost when projects collapse. Visual symbols matter. The viral graffiti has turned the towers into a visual symbol of failure. The public remembers them not as a dream of revitalization, but as monuments to betrayal. The story is now etched in paint and concrete, a cautionary tale visible to all who gaze upon downtown Los Angeles. Graffiti as expose. In an ironic twist, the graffiti itself has become a form of justice. Photographers, journalists, and social media users have turned the empty towers into a narrative of accountability. Viral posts highlight the emptiness and decay of the buildings, prompting discussions about international finance, urban planning, and regulatory oversight. The art transforms a financial disaster into a visible public memory, ensuring the story of Oceanwide Plaza cannot be ignored or forgotten. Graffiti has become more than rebellion. It is a visual indictment, a statement against corporate negligence. It reminds the city and the world that behind every failed project are real people affected. Real people. In an ironic twist, the graffiti itself has become a form of justice. Photographers, journalists, and social media users have turned the empty towers into a narrative of accountability. Viral posts highlight the emptiness and decay of the buildings, prompting discussions about international finance, urban planning, and regulatory oversight. The art transforms a financial disaster into a visible public memory, ensuring the story of Oceanwide Plaza cannot be ignored or forgotten. Graffiti has become more than rebellion. It is a visual indictment, a statement against corporate negligence. It reminds the city and the world that behind every failed project are real people affected, and that accountability cannot always be bought or hidden. Final thoughts. Oceanwide Plaza is a ghost story for the 21st century. Not haunted by the spirits of the past, but by mismanaged money, ignored oversight, and unchecked ambition. 3 towers stand as enduring lessons. Money can vanish as easily as it is invested. Human lives often become collateral in pursuit of profit, and art and activism can tell stories corporate statements cannot. The graffiti may fade, but the story endures. Perhaps someday the towers will finally be completed, not as symbols of triumph, but as permanent reminders of mistakes that must never be repeated. They are a billion-dollar lesson in greed, mismanagement, and the human cost of corporate failure. If you want to uncover more stories of corporate greed, financial disasters, and the human consequences behind headline-making projects, make sure to subscribe. Every skyscraper has a story, and sometimes the truth is darker than fiction.